Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Birch and Lily, where I talk all about my crafty projects that I have been working on this past week. Today is a knitting episode and it is September 28th. I have a decent amount of things to show you guys, not that I made a ton of progress on any of them, but I hope you will enjoy what I have to show you today. It is particularly rainy outside today, so hopefully my mic doesn't pick that up. Crossing my fingers. It's not too heavy right now, so hopefully it stays that way as well. I don't think, oh, you can kind of see my mess. This craft room is a disaster, so I apologize if you see some mess on the floor. On that note, is that something you guys would be interested in a video about? My craft room, mostly organizing it. That's definitely something I think I could do, but I'm curious if you're interested in something like that. I think it would be a great video for one of those weeks where I really don't have much to talk about. Let me know. Anyways, before we get started, there are two places that you can find me on the internet. The first is on Instagram at birch.and.lily, and the second is on Ravelry at birchandlily. So let's jump into works in progress. I don't have any finished objects this episode. The first work in progress that I would like to show you guys is actually a new design of mine. It is currently out for testing, or will be soon. I'm looking for test knitters. If you are interested, I will be accepting applications for test knitters until tomorrow, September 29th, probably sometime in the evening. I won't shut it right away. I'll probably pick around like 7-8 o'clock Eastern time. So if you are interested in test knitting this pattern for me once I show it to you guys, head over to my Instagram. The link will be in the description on my Instagram. You do have to have a valid Instagram and Ravelry account. Can't be private, otherwise I'm not picky. But I do take applications just so I can make sure that I have enough people for each size. Anyways, let's jump on in. So I've decided to call these the Wheatfield socks. I have them in this Birch Grove project bag, and I have one sock finished, so I'll put it on a blocker. So like I said, this is a new design. I am going to call these the Wheatfield socks. I am knitting these up out of Autumn and Indigo yarn, their classic sock base, which is a 75-25 base. This pair of particular socks is a 64 stitch sock with a 2x2 rib. The pattern should also come with a 56 stitch sock and a 72. That's my plan. This is an Eye of Partridge heel flapping gusset, and then this really pretty pattern that kind of looks like stalks of wheat in my head. That's where I got the name. Anyways, yeah, wedge toe. So I have the first sock done, and I have cast on the second one. So I'm using 2.25 millimeter needles for these. I don't know if I said that or not. Anyways, the second one is cast on and on the way. I wish I got more work done on these, but my wrists have been bugging me the past couple days, and I find they bug me even more when I'm doing cabling, and there's cabling on these socks, so they kind of have been sitting to the side. I can still write the pattern up and get it ready for my testers to go out on Wednesday once I pick them, because I know what's going on now. I finished one repeat on this sock. But yeah, I'm really confused as to why my wrists are hurting so much. So I'm trying to give them a little bit of a break, and that is kind of too why I haven't got much done on all of these projects, because I'll start for a little bit on something and then I'm like, nope, gotta take a break. So yeah, a little bit done on these. Hopefully we'll have them done soon. I am hoping to release this pattern a couple weeks into October. That's my plan. I'll keep you guys posted though. And like I said, if you're interested in testing, head to my Instagram. So the next project I have to show you guys is probably the only other pair of socks that I have got a lot of work on over the past 2 weeks. That being because we went to a movie on Saturday, which was awesome. The theater was totally dead and I felt perfectly safe and fine. But yeah, these were the socks that I brought to work on during the movie. I haven't done movie knitting in so long, and it was so nice to just be able to relax with some popcorn and do that. So yeah, Another Birch Grove bag, and the cute little sheep pin is from Mary of the Crafting Treehouse on Etsy. So these are my husband's socks. I am knitting them up out of a self-striping yarn. This is from Eat Knit Dye Yarns. On their 75-25 base, this colorway is Assistant to the Regional Manager. So that is what I'm using. It does also come with a mini skein for heels and toes and the like, which is unraveling in the bag, but this is the mini skein that it comes with. And I remembered to put progress keepers on most of my projects this time, which I have not been doing for months, so I'm kind of proud of that. But, oh dear, this got tangled. Anyways, this is where I am. So that little progress keeper there, I think is from Sucre Miniatures. It's a little taco, but that is how much I got done in the movie, which I'm pretty pleased with. This sock is 64 stitches. That's the size I usually do for my husband. I did a 2x2 rib on this as well. Knit till I felt like the leg was long enough and put in a slip stitch heel flapping gusset. And I'm just working on the foot, and he has massive feet, so it's going to be a while before this first sock is done. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that progress for the movie theater. The movie we saw was Tenet, and you definitely have to pay attention. So the amount I got done for how much I was stopping and trying to figure out what was going on, this is pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I will definitely keep these in my purse for knitting when I'm sitting around and have nothing to do and we're out and about. It's the perfect car knitting. So yeah, I think that is all I have to say about these. I might have missed saying needle size, 2.25 millimeter. I always forget to say that every single pair of socks I knit is on a 2.25 millimeter needle. If it's any different, I would say, but if I do forget to say, that is the needle size that I usually use. Okay, next I have another pair of socks. These are the Maj Socks. It's a pattern by Sari Nordlund, and I am knitting these on some Woolberry Fiber Co yarn. They're in another Birch Grove bag. Perfect sock knitting size. Let's see. The yarn that I'm using is Woolberry Fiber Co. This is on their simple sock base, which is discontinued, I believe, but it is a 75-25. And this colorway here, if it doesn't blow out, is Sock Tawk. So it's a cream with pretty much rainbow speckles. So like I said, I'm knitting the Maj Socks, and I have made it past the heel on these since the last time you saw them. So that little progress keeper is where what's going on here? There, that's better. So that little progress keeper is where I was last time. So I have put in the heel flap and gusset on this as well and continued through. I'm pretty sure I'm done the whole gusset decrease section. So now I'm just working away on the socks. So 60 stitches for these guys on 2.25 millimeter needles. And what else? This is all a twisted, this is all cabling knit through the back loop. That's what I was looking for. And then you've got all these bobble stitches running throughout the whole rest of the foot. Yeah, slip stitch, heel flapping gusset, like I said, just really simple, but it's so pretty. And I know I was worried that these were going to be too tight last time I showed them, but they're totally fine. I think it was just because all of this knit through the back loop and cabling was making it suck itself in and look really tight. But now that I've got into this bobble section, it's fine. If this is a little bit snug, I'll have to do a little finagling to get it over my foot, but it does fit. I did try, so it should be just fine. Yeah, but I really like these. Sari has the most beautiful patterns. I'm sure you've seen all summer that they've been the majority of what I've been knitting, and for good reason, because this is gorgeous. I love it so much. So really enjoying these. If my wrists smarten up, I definitely will be working on these and hopefully getting the first sock done. Okay, let's take a minute and jump into something that isn't a sock. I have been working on my nurtured sweater quite a bit. I had one sleeve done, I think the last time I showed it, or maybe a sleeve and a half. we'll see where my progress keeper is. But I've been working away on this and getting a lot of progress done. So I'm also knitting this project out of Woolberry Fiber Co yarn. If I can find a cake. Here we go. So this is Woolberry Fiber Co on their Berry Natural base. It is worsted. I believe it is 100% merino yarn. It's not superwash, it's 100% merino. And this colorway is called My Favorite Sweater, which I'm hoping this sweater will be. It's so squishy. Anyways, let's see. Yes, I had started the second sleeve last time. So before I show you what I've done on the second sleeve, I did make a realization when I was reading the pattern a little bit better the last time I had this pulled out that I missed a couple rounds on this sleeve. So you're supposed to knit it until, I can't even remember what length, but a certain 18 inches maybe? Anyways, you're supposed to knit it to a certain length, and then you actually have to bind off a couple of these stitches after that, which I did not do. So I'm just going to, once I'm finished this other sleeve, attach the yarn back on and quick do those. I think there's like 2 or 3 rounds that I missed doing that get this sleeve set up for attaching once I get to that point on the body. So easy fix, not the end of the world, but I'm glad I noticed that before I tried to attach both of these sleeves and realized that I had screwed up. So first sleeve, like I said, is done, and it is on waste yarn at the moment. And here is the second sleeve. So that progress keeper is played in nachos, but it is showing where I was last time I showed this. So I am on the last repeat of the pattern for this sleeve. Then I'll do that little decreasey thingy, and this one will be done. I think I might even have just like 4 or 5 rows left on this. But yeah, second sleeve. Once both sleeves are done, you cast on for the body. I believe the body is bottom up, and then you'll attach the sleeves at one point, and ta-da, a sweater. But this is going really fast because it's worsted weight, and the body is going to go really fast too because it's a crop sweater. So I should have this done pretty soon, and I should be able to wear it this winter. So that is kind of my goal. Let's talk about different little stat things about this sweater though. I am knitting the size medium. Normally I would knit a size small, but I find even if I feel like I've hit gauge on Andrea's patterns, they still end up being too small for me. So I was like, you know what? I hit gauge, but I'm going to jump up to a medium. It's supposed to be a cropped, baggier sweater anyways. There's supposed to be lots of positive ease, so we'll just go up a size and it'll be fine. And I'm glad I did, because these sleeves are on the snugger side. They're not too tight, but they're definitely more of a fitted sleeve, so I'm glad that I did that, especially because normal merino yarn will not grow as much as superwash merino, so I don't have as much leeway, I guess is the best way to put it. But I am knitting this on 2 different needle sizes. The ribbing is a 3.5 millimeter US 4, and then the body and the rest of the sweater is on a 4 millimeter, so a US 6. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I'm alternating skeins. You should always alternate skeins when you are using hand-dyed yarn so that you don't get weird stripes or anything when you are done, because I would be very sad if I put this sweater on and realized there was just this random stripe where the colors changed, because unfortunately it's impossible to get every skein looking the same with hand-dyed yarn. But that's the fun of it, because then you put it all together and it's marled and pretty. But yeah, alternating skeins with this. I wish I could do the helical method. That is definitely my favorite method of alternating skeins. If you don't know what that is, I would Google it, or I can try and find a link if you're really interested. But that is definitely my favorite way to alternate, because there's no twisting of the skeins of yarn along the back of the project like this. But because of how this stitch pattern is, I have to do it. I haven't figured out a way that I couldn't do it. So, or a way that I could do it. you know what I mean. So I've been doing this way of alternating. It's working fine, but it just leaves this little seam along the inside of your project. Not the end of the world. So yeah, loving this. Really simple. Pattern is crazy easy to memorize. So if you need some good TV knitting, I would call this good TV knitting. And I have one more pair of socks that I have worked on over the past 2 weeks. These are the Humbug Socks, a pattern by Ambrose Smith. They were her mystery knit along for Christmas last year, I think. They're in this bag by Studio in the green. And I am knitting this up out of yarn from, I think it's Good For You yarn. This is their Kettle Steps line of yarn. It is 40% superwash merino, 40% baby llama, and 20% nylon. I don't have the color name for this. I have a number, which I can't remember at the moment, but it will be linked down below or noted down below if you're interested in this yarn. It was super cheap when I got it. I think it was on sale at a yarn show last year. But even then, I believe it was reasonably priced normally. So, pretty purple yarn, nice and soft. I am knitting up a pair of socks for a friend out of this. This is going to be a Christmas gift. And this pattern is so pretty. It is basically kind of like a tartan pattern, but it has eyelets in it. I think if I put them on blockers, you'll actually be able to see that a little bit better. You kind of can. There's my tail. But what did I do for these socks? 64 stitches is what I cast on. The pattern calls for something different with the ribbing, but I just wanted to do a nice simple 2x2 rib. And then I've been following the pattern otherwise. It has a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. I have fully decreased for the gusset. Honestly, I think what I've been doing lately with socks is putting the heel flap in, decreasing for the gusset, making sure I'm back at my normal amount of stitches, and then just stopping. Because this sock is like that, the Maj sock is like that. Yeah, bad habit. And then I don't feel like working on them anymore for a while. But these need to get done because they are a Christmas gift. So yeah, working on these. Last time I did not have the heel flap and gusset in, it seems, from where my progress keeper is. This is the cutest little pot of succulents from Sucre Miniatures, I believe, again. But I'm enjoying these socks. Again, this pattern is very easy to memorize, very forgiving stretch-wise, so that's kind of why I knit them up as a gift too, just because I'm not 100% sure how they will fit. I have the person's shoe size, and I do know like length and stuff, and a general idea of the size of their legs. That sounds weird. But I want to make sure that they have a little bit of give just to be safe on the fitting side. So these need to be done by Christmas. I still have plenty of time. Once I get these done, this is my last, or actually no, this and my husband's socks are my 2 last Christmas gifts, and I'm done for Christmas. Then if I want to make anything else, it is extra, and if I don't finish it, I don't think I have to stress. So gotta get these done. Yeah, if you're looking for an easy, like if you've just been knitting vanilla socks for a long time and you're looking for something really easy to jump into pattern socks, this is a great one. Really good. Mostly just knits and purls, and then there's one fancy stitch, but once you have it figured out, which you'll do in 2 seconds because the pattern has really good directions, you'll fly with this, and it's really fun and really pretty. And I think it would be, yeah, a great first time pattern sock. So yeah, that is all that I've worked on the past couple weeks. I haven't really had the urge to cast anything on, which I'm okay with, because sometimes I hit a really bad cast on time and then I have way too many projects. So I feel good that I'm kind of working on stuff and getting it finished slowly. But yeah, I just, like I said, my wrists have been bugging me, and so I've been cross-stitching a lot instead of knitting and trying to give them a little bit of a rest. So hopefully they smarten up soon, because I do want to knit. Of course, when I want to knit is when I can't knit. That's always the way it is. But I still think I got a decent amount done. So yeah, let me know if you want to test the wheat-filled socks, like I said, all you have to do is go to my Instagram. There's a link in the description in my link tree. It should be the very first link. If you click on that, you can fill out the application and stuff, and it's super easy. And then I'll be picking testers on Wednesday. And that is it, I think. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time and you made it all the way through, wow. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And if you've been coming back for a long time, you mean a lot too. It's awesome. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed already, please think about doing so. That does help me out a lot. You can also click the little bell down below to get notifications every time I upload. And if you like this video, that helps get it out to other people out there so they can see what I have been working on. If you are interested in cross-stitching, I will see you guys again next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for a cross-stitch video. Otherwise, if you wait until the following week, I will have a knitting video up at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I alternate between the two every single week, so you'll definitely have a video to watch every week if you are interested in both. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. It means a lot. I hope you stay well and healthy and are enjoying yourself and getting lots of crafting done. And I will see you again next week. Bye.